And hello, everyone, and welcome back to Words I Choose to Live By. I'm Cyrus Webb, joined by Darius Ewing, Melissa Banks, and Mary Ellen Ciganovich. Glad you all could be with us for today's program. Today, we're talking about week number 4 from my book, and a really important message: age is only a number. So we welcome you all who are tuning in right now on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook, and LinkedIn. Glad you all could be with us. Going to go ahead and connect and make sure everything is good on the Facebook side of our program. If you guys do not have the copy of my book or the books of our co-hosts, we'll remind you at the end of our segment how you can be able to get all of those. Also, make sure you guys do join us in the chat. The chat is open with guys to be able to share your thoughts. If you guys have any questions or comments you want us to address during today's show, we'll be glad to do that. But how's everybody doing?
Doing great.
Great.
Good deal. Good deal. A lot of great things happening, and we're excited that our audience can join us today. I'm going to go ahead and connect with our friends over on Amazon Live. And you all are watching Words I Choose to Live By here on Amazon Live. I'm Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. I'm joined by Melissa Banks, Darius Ewing, and Mary Ellen Ciganovich. We're glad you all could join us for today's program. It's based on my book by the same name, Words I Choose to Live By. You guys see it there. I'm going to go ahead and highlight it in the carousel there. It's available on Amazon. Today we're discussing week number 4. And if you guys do not have my book or our co-host books, we'll definitely invite you guys to be able to get those for yourself. Also, if you guys are joining us on Amazon Live side, feel free to be able to let us know who you are in the chat. Would love to be able to call you guys out. If you're not following us here on Amazon Live, also invite you guys to be able to do that. That way you can stay connected with all of our programming that we have going on throughout the week. Also, we will let you guys know at the end how you can stay connected with our co-host as well. So everybody, I'm going to go ahead and read the message for today, and we'll dive right in. Again, it is week number 4 from my book, Age is Only a Number. You are never too young or too old to make a significant impact on the world. Being a star has nothing to do with where you live. It's all about how you live. No matter where you are or where you go, make sure to shine your brightest beginning today. Now, this message, again, and I've said it before, these messages were written for me first because I need all the encouragement I can get. And I definitely have as I've had to go throughout the years. But I think, especially being a country boy from Mississippi, I've said it a lot of times, a lot of times when people think about broadcast success or influencers, they don't think about Mississippi right off the top. That's not where the list normally starts. But I really wrote this to remind myself and also others that your location is only one part of the story. What really matters is what you choose to do where you are. And that's what I really hope when people read this in the book, that they would be able to get from it. Melissa, I want to ask you, how important have these two components been for you? One, realizing that you're not defined by your age, but also 2, your location doesn't have to decide what you can do.
I think it's huge, Cyrus, because one of the things, when I grew up in a small little area in Mississippi. We didn't know people that had their own business. We didn't know them personally. We didn't hear a lot about dreaming big because that's not what we heard. That just wasn't the environment. But that doesn't stop you from being able to have impact. That doesn't stop you from being able to see where your life would take you. It's all about just what you said. It's about how you live, what you take from those lessons from the places that you came from, and how you live and impact the world today. If you make a decision to show up regardless of where you are, regardless of where you came from. I know that for a long time in my own personal life that I went through a 17-year domestic violence. When I came out of that, I didn't talk to people. But that didn't stop me from being able to go through my journey. So now I can use those things that I went through and share with other people that, you know what, it doesn't matter where you start. It doesn't matter what happened. What you do is you learn from that, and it doesn't stop you. It can only stop you if you allow it to stop you. We talk on this program all the time about mindset, and that's really what this is about. It's not how old you are. I was on a panel yesterday, and I was the oldest person in the room, and I was so inspired, though, because those young women had such big dreams and had went through so many things, but the key was they came through it, and their light is shining. So once you decide that you're going to make your light shine wherever you are, It doesn't matter how old you are or where you came from. It's what you do with what you went through and where you are. Dreaming big and allowing yourself to dream big, and then do the work.
Love that. Conchita, thank you so much for joining us over there on the Facebook side. Facebook says hello. Indeed, I am youthing, not aging. I love that, Conchita. I'm going to join you in youthing. Conchita. Darius, what about for you? And for those joining us on the Amazon side, you'll notice as we're going through, as each one of our co-hosts are speaking, you'll notice that we're highlighting each one of their books there. So feel free to, as we are featuring their book as they are talking on today's broadcast, to be able to click on the book, to be able to order your own copy of it. Darius, I want to ask you this. Again, you recently changed locations, but you're still from Mississippi, no matter where you are. But how important has it been for you to think about the one, age is just a number, and two, you're not defined by your location?
Man, you have to be cognizant and realize that the Bible does say that your gift will make room for itself and bring you before great men. It does say that. And so you have to realize that wherever that greatness is, greatness doesn't have a per se location. Greatness is what you make of it. It starts with the mind. If you think you can be great in Mississippi, guess what? You can be great in Mississippi.
Right.
If you think you can be great in Arkansas, you can be great in Arkansas. But you have to work with what you got on the front end. Can't be timid and worried about what people go say. Okay, you too old to do this. No, I'm not. As long as I'm alive, I can do whatever I put my mind to do.
Right.
And it's been like a misconception for so long. People say, well, you're moving into a situation. No, one thing I love about me is that I've trained myself to adapt. I've trained myself to be able to go in any situation and still be effective. Because I know who I am and I know my purpose. And once you realize that at whatever age you are, it's on and popping with that.
Yeah. Such a great point, Darius, and I love that. And again, Angie says, "Amen." And that is really the big thing here. I think so many times, I have been told, and I think I believe I want to give people the benefit of the doubt. I try to do that every now and then. So I think some people think they're doing a good thing by saying, "Oh, you're too young to do that," or "What makes you think you can do that at your age?" And a lot of times, I think. I personally feel, and Mary Ellen, I'm going to bring you into this. A lot of times people try to put their own limitations on us, quite frankly, and they think because they can't do something, that means that we can't do it. So, Mary Ellen, I want to ask you, how have you been able to deal with these two things? One, realizing that age is just a number, but two, that your location doesn't have to define you.
Well, I don't think I've ever seen age as a negative thing. I know that age is a mindset, okay? And when you can create your own picture of aging, and I did, oh, sorry, my headphones came off. I have so many clients that live a life of purpose and passion, and all of a sudden they get to a certain age and it's like everything stops. They're all ready to sit in their chair and wait until God takes them. And I'm like, no, you can do what do you love to do? What is your fun? What is your passion? I'll be 70 February 22nd. I embrace that. I'm joyful about it. I am so much more at peace with my life right now than I've ever been. And I know that you're not defined by your location, especially now, especially with the internet. It is so easy to get all over the world, not just in the United States, but everywhere around the world. I have people from France and Germany and Nigeria and everywhere that follow a lot of my Miracles with Mary Ellen posts. So, you can have fun at any age. You can embrace your positive possibilities at any age. What do you want to leave to the world? What do you want to add to the world? How can you make the world a little bit better than when you came? And age should never define you. You can allow age to stop you.
Yeah.
But that's your choice, and people will say, well, I can't exercise. Yeah, you can exercise. You can do it differently. You might not be able to run 5 miles, but you can do whatever you need to do. Moving your body is so important because as you age, you don't so much age as you oxidize, and you can slow down the oxidation process. And of course, that's a speech for a whole nother time. But you don't have to buy into that aging picture. I remember my own mother, when she was younger, she would put on makeup and get dressed and just really look nice. And then all of a sudden she hit a certain age, no more makeup, no more clothes. She would go around the house in her bathrobe. And I'm like, what are you doing? I look this way for me and probably for people too. But even if I'm not going anywhere, I'm going to get dressed up and have fun. Why not have fun every single day?
Mary Ellen, I want to ask you about the other component since we have you there front and center. And I want to say, as you guys see, we have Mary Ellen's latest book, Truth Lives. It's highlighted in the carousel for those joining us on the Amazon Live side right now. But I want to highlight the other part of what I wrote in this message, Mary Ellen, and have you talk about it. And that is being a star has nothing to do with where you live. It's all about how you live. I think one of the biggest, and the reason why I'm going to start with you on this, because we mentioned the internet. And I think the internet has been amazing for all of us. I think we all would agree to that. It definitely has helped me to expand on my own business. But I think one of the shortcomings, and I'm curious to see your thoughts about this, Mary Ellen, so many times we look at other people as a star, right? A person who is plays a sport or has a TV show, or instead of realizing the gifts that we have right around us, like the four of us, right? People will look over us because we're not on this channel or, have this platform. How have you not allowed that mentality, Mary Ellen, to stop you, that you feel like you have to have this large TV show or other platform to make a difference where you are?
Well, it's like you were saying before, you just make a difference in your own life. And then somebody watches you and they're inspired by how you make a difference in your own life. Like I try to inspire other people with MS to move and to eat correctly and do different things that work for me, because I know that will work for them also. It's not going to cure you, and it will at least make dealing with MS a lot differently. And I always think, well, if one person sees this, I made a difference. That's great. All I need to reach is one person. And today on my Miracles with Mary Ellen on Monday, I had a ton of people watching, which I was so humbled and blessed and proud at the same time that they wanted to tune in to see what I had to say. And you just keep working little at little, because, it's not just the people that you hear about all the time. We're all stars. We're all bright lights. We're all children of God, put here to make our planet, our earth, our society, our family, and our friends just a little bit better. So, it is about making a difference. You don't have to be a star to make a difference. Just make a difference to your children. Make a difference to your family and friends. And that's okay. Then you will have lived a good life. And that's what it's all about. Just leaving the world a little bit better than when you came.
Such a great point. Darius, I want to bring you in. Kathy Hilzaffel is joining us on the Amazon Live side. Hello to you, Kathy, over there on Amazon Live. Kathy says, what Darius said about location not limiting anyone is true. Maybe we should look for ways to allow location to make us great, bloom where we're planted. And I think that's the big thing here. But Darius, I want to ask you what I asked Mary Ellen to Kathy's point. There are people who, you do phenomenal work. All of you do phenomenal work. And I think it's so sad, unfortunately, that some people will try someone they think is bigger, right? Or has more whatever, instead of taking advantage of what's in front of you. So I want to ask you, Darius, how do you maintain your brightness and realize who you are, even when other people may not realize it?
I maintain it by knowing my purpose. I have to remind myself daily what my purpose is. Like, this is what you're called to do. So you got to do it, whether it's you're reaching one person or you're reaching 1,000 people. Again, it starts with reaching self. Most of my notes to self, trust and believe me, they start with me. And I have to sit down and examine. And a lot of them I'm scared to post. But a lot of it is not even about me. It helps somebody else. And I'm like, okay, all right, I guess I am on the right track. So long as I keep that in mind, as long as I'm helping And like Mary Ellen said, leaving the world a better place.
Yeah.
Like it's already enough negative out there on the airwaves. There's already enough negative. So
Right.
I just want to pour the energy that I have into somebody else to help them get to that next phase or to that next level, and motivate them, allow them to know that yes, all things are possible. You have to put in the work, but all things are possible.
Exactly. To that point, Tina, hello to you, Tina. Tina's joining us on the Facebook side. Tina says, hello to everyone. She said, as I'm listening to missionaries doing the work of 20, I was like, we can and need to do more at every stage of life. And I think that's it. We all, and Mary Ellen brought up a really good point. Maybe we're not able to do what we used to could do, or maybe we can't do as much as someone else, but I've honestly never been able to do But I think the important point is, I digress. The important thing is to do what we can do, right? I mean, I think that's the big thing there. David Huffstetler is joining us on Facebook as well. Hey, David, good to see you. David says, yes, making a difference to someone is what counts. And that is so true, David, and I totally agree with that. Melissa, I want to ask you this question too, because again, you and I have had these conversations, I think, even privately, that unfortunately people, and it's one thing that frustrates me. My friends will tell you, I get upset with other people being overlooked and mistreated more so than I think the people actually get upset. And when I know that there are great people out there, like I mentioned, the three of you are phenomenal. You all have great platforms, great messages. And that's why I'm so glad to have you all be a part of Word That Choose to Live By here, because I want people to know that when they're talking about experts or this or that, they're right here in front of you. They're you can reach out to these people. So, Melissa, how have you been able to deal with that, even when people didn't realize the star that you are, not letting that keep you from shining?
One of the important things to me is once I was clear about what I was purposed to do, I think that before that point, I was just doing what I thought I needed to do without that passion. But when you're at that stage, I think it's easier to get distracted with the public figures. I think people around us look at what's known as the public figures, the ones with the 90,000 followers on Instagram. They can say the exact same thing I say, but so many people will listen to them because of their star status. But once I was clear in my mind and my gut, every part of my soul, that my purpose is to inspire and motivate women to move beyond their limiting beliefs, because that was me. I know that was me at one point. So I know my purpose is to do that. I've had some powerful conversations with women in the bathroom because I walked in at a moment that this woman needed to hear something. So I believe that when you become clear about your purpose, all that other stuff just works itself out. I don't focus on that. The person who is destined to hear what I have to say, they're going to hear me. Unfortunately, human nature causes some people to not stop and listen to me because I don't have the 90,000 Instagram followers. But my message is clear, and there are people who are targeted to hear my message that need what I have to offer. If I talk to 200 people or one person, when I talk and they really internalize what I've said, and it makes them move one step closer to their dream, or move one step past where they normally would stop, then I have done what I'm purposed to do, and I'm not going to stop doing it. So I don't worry about the star status, because, in Mississippi, I'm right here. I don't have 90. I probably have 2,000 followers, but my message is clear. And the people who need to hear my message will hear it. And I'm not going to stop saying it. I say it everywhere I go.
Yeah, I love that. Sunshine Love says, when you know who you are, the brightness of your light cannot be controlled by man. Appreciate that. Sunshine Love. And this reminds me of something, I came from very humble beginnings. I tell people all the time, I did not come from money, didn't come from a family that had a lot. We, like you said, Melissa, and I think Mary Ellen talked about, I didn't come from a family of entrepreneurs. That's not something they knew. To me, in my family, the men got up, they got dressed, and went to work for somebody else. That's what you did. That was a sign of a good, a good man, a good provider. But my mom said something to me recently, and it really made me think, because, a lot of times we do stuff, we don't think about it. She saw me in the very beginning, y'all, when I was holding poetry readings in in hotel conference rooms back when we did that. And she's seen me have one person, 3 people, 5 people, 20 people, 50 people, 100 people. And she said, Cyrus, you approach everything just like there's 100 people in the room. And I said, I thought that was a weird thing to even to recognize. But I said, because everyone's important. So you shouldn't do a better performance because there's 100 people in the room. When you have one person who's invested in you, they deserve as much as the 100 people do. And that's the way I've always lived my life. I give everyone what I give to anyone else, good and bad. I'm equal opportunity. But I think that the message I hope our audience gets from this is you have value where you are. It doesn't matter where you live. I can remember in the Bible, someone saying, can anything good come from Nazareth? And we know how that turned out. I think we just have to be very careful that we don't overlook the greatness that is right in front of us. I love that point that Melissa made. So then I want to turn it over to Mary Ellen. And Mary Ellen, what is your hope for our audience? We're having this conversation today about age, about location, and not letting these be limiting for us. What is your message for our audience about this?
Well, I want everyone to know that you can create your own picture of aging. Okay. If you want to age slowly, you can create that picture. And you need to be careful when you go out, because when you do get around other people that are older, I know when I was going to the sports bar, and I work out here now, but so many people would come to the sports bar and all they do would complain about what's wrong with their life, their body, whatever. And I would put my shields up so that I wouldn't hear that, so that wouldn't go into my life. And you don't have to be defined by your location or how you were brought up. I mean, I was brought up with so much negativity about what I couldn't do. And I always thought of it, I was like, why are they saying that to me? And I always knew that I had God inside of me. I knew I had angels leading me towards a purpose that was greater than anything I could ever dream of or think of. So go forward, create your own picture of aging, create your own picture of your life, grab every opportunity that comes in front of you, no matter how big or how small. And like I was saying before, just make the world a little bit better than it is right now.
Such a great point. Melissa, I want to come to you, but Edie Graham says on Facebook, do everything you do with excellence, no matter who's in the room. So true, Edie, with that. And Sunshine Love had a message. If you can go ahead and bring that up on the screen. Sunshine Love says, believe in your mission, and the quantity of people will not be as important as the quality of people. I love that, Sunshine Love. Sunshine Love also says, I started my chain breaker luncheon with 4 people and the ministers. At my 4th one, I'm at 15. And the energy and message isn't based on number of attendees. And I think that's it. We have to get out of it. And Melissa brought this up. We have to get out of this thing about numbers, right? I think now, and I get in trouble about this on the business side. I understand brands and businesses want to work with people with an audience. I get that part. But I think what we have to stop doing is thinking because we don't have a certain number, that means we don't have the value. And I think that's the mistake that we can make. All of us can make. Look, I have to be careful. I tell those in my inner circle all the time, I can't be defined by metrics. Yes, it's important for business. I run a business, so I get that part. But you cannot think that you are making a difference based on the amount of people. It really is about the quality. So, Melissa, what do you want our audience to know about this? One, about their age not being the determining factor, but also their location not making a difference.
You know what I would say is, don't even think about how old you are. Don't think about age, because you were born with a destiny in mind. You are in control of the circumstances as to when it will come out. So don't even focus on that. What you focus on is what you truly believe in your heart you were placed on this planet to do. See, I believe that every single person was placed on this planet for a purpose. So focus on your purpose and get up every day excited and moving your life toward reaching your purpose. You may reach your purpose at 5. We hear all the time about young entrepreneurs that started very young, right? I was not one of those. I had to go through some stuff to get to where I am now. So focus on learning your purpose, that God will reveal your purpose to you, and don't stop moving. Don't think about how old you are. Think about how you're feeling and the energy level that you have. And those things, there's things you can do about that. The age you can't control, right? But you can control what you do with every single day. So focus on that and don't worry about the age.
Great message there, Darius. Last but certainly not least, sir, what would you say to our audience about, one, not letting age be the determining factor, but also, two, not being defined by their location?
Man, if it don't mind, it don't matter. That's what they taught us in the military, man. Look, you most of you guys that served in the military back in the day, they served 20, 30 plus years because of the mindset. It wasn't the age, it was the mindset. And so your mindset determines a lot of things that take place in your life. Number one, you got to be realistic with yourself. Are you really ready to take on the challenge that you've been praying for? Are you really ready to take on the purpose? Because like we spoke on it earlier, you're not gonna have all the followers when you're doing the right thing. You're not gonna have the 100 and 4,000 viewers. But as long as you're able to reach that one, that should give you gratification and satisfaction that you're operating in purpose.
Yeah.
Which leads me to say purpose doesn't have an age. A lot of us have been through things to become wiser to get to this point, to be able to reach back and help somebody. Yes, I love young entrepreneurs. That's great. But when they bump their head, where do they go?
Yeah.
They have to go to somebody who's wiser, somebody who knows, per se, the business game, or somebody who knows the social media game, because they don't know. And so never let your age stop nor hinder your purpose and location. It is what it is. It's just a location. You can rise from anywhere and from anything.
Yeah. And I can say, last thing I'll mention on this, and we're going to let everyone know how they can get all of your books, is that don't think everyone who lives in New York, California, Atlanta are having it easy either, because it's saturated in those areas too, because everyone thinks that's where they need to be able to have their dream realized. So, that saying, all that glitters is not gold, is true. And a lot of times you're being from a smaller place is sometimes better because you can stand out. You can be noticed. And so I think it's all about, it kind of goes to, I think, Melissa, was that you talked about mindset. I think that is really it. It really is about your mindset for sure. I want to say today's program is being brought to you here on Amazon Live with Cool. That is a computer I'm using here to stream. I was saying to my co-host earlier, I didn't get enough credit from them going into today's program, but it's okay with me. One of the complaints I've heard is, Cyrus, we like your setup, but we can't see you behind that big computer right at the front. Well, you know what? It's actually a small computer, but it does great things. See, big things come in small packages. See? This
is true.
Cool. Me. The Cool computer is on sale right now for $279 on Amazon. If you guys are not joining us on the Amazon platform, you'll notice a link that'll take you right over here to Amazon Live to be able to get it for yourself. A great deal. If you do a lot of streaming, doing Zoom meetings, we're using Restream right now. But if you're doing a lot of streaming online, this is a great laptop for you. Easy to travel with as well. It's slim design, gives you everything you need to be able to get the job done. Again, $279 right now on Amazon. And it does come with Windows 10, but it also has a free upgrade to Windows 11. So keep that in mind. And that is what I want to share with you guys today. So, Darius, we have you there. Let our audience know how to stay connected with you, man, and how to get your book.
Amazon. And stay connected with me on social media. Facebook, that's Darius Ewing, Darius L. Ewing. Instagram, Mr. Ewing 1914. Also, I want to give a quick shout out, if you don't mind, to all my family and friends who have been tuning in. Thank you, Sunshine and the DBE family. And my uncle has actually tuned in from West Point today. So appreciate it.
Yay.
Awesome. Hey, shout outs are always welcome. You guys feel free to give them anytime. Mary Ellen, what about you? How can they stay connected with you and get your books?
I'm not going to go there. My website is askmaryellen.com, which has all my blogs. It'll have my Miracles of Mary Ellen presentation from this morning, which was about love conquers fear. And that is so important because you're not put on this earth to take love. You're actually put on this earth to give love. So give love, go forward, make a difference, and connect with me through askmaryellen.com. All of my books are on Amazon with quick links on my website.
All right. And we're highlighting them there. Truth, Taking Responsibility, and Lisa's True Healing. Healing Words, Life Lessons to Inspire. You guys can see it there on the Amazon side, as well as the newest book that we've been highlighting today, Truth Lives. You can get all of them right there. And last but certainly not least, Melissa Banks. How can they stay connected with you and get your books?
As always, you can simply go to themelissabanks.com. You can get the book. It will take you straight to the link. It's Dream by Design, the devotional expanded edition. I believe it all starts with your mind. That means you have to feed your mind what you want it to receive. And that's what this book is about. Simply go to themelissabanks.com. You can also get your tickets for this week's Imagine the Possibilities virtual conference. It's here. Go straight to themelissabanks.com, click the first link, and you can register. It's themelissabanks.com.
All right. And as Mary Ellen was pointing out, she is one of the presenters for the Imagine the Possibilities as well conference. So make sure you guys check that out. Again, thanks to all of you for tuning in on. I see you guys even over there on YouTube. Appreciate you guys joining us. So those tuning in on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Twitter, and on Amazon Live, appreciate you all being with us for today's edition of Words I Choose to Live By. Again, you can always get my book, Words I Choose to Live By. I'll go and highlight mine since no one brought it up. I'll talk about it. You can get it on on Amazon. I'm just joking. But you can get my book there on Amazon. It's available in paperback as well as a Kindle edition. The Kindle edition is actually on sale right now for $2.99. $2.99 Kindle edition. So you guys can go ahead and get that. And until next time, you all have a great one. And we'll see you back here next week for Words I Choose to Live By. You all take care.